For the first time in its history, the Consolidated Commission on Utilities last night voted to go to court to challenge an order from the Public Utilities Commission. That order was issued last Thursday by the PUC, which ruled that a law passed last year by the legislature requires the Guam Water Works Authority to pay back $18 million to GovGuam's general fund.
We'll be asking the court to clarify whether the law to actually borrow the money is legal and has been written properly. And if so, whether we're also able to protect existing bond funds that we already have on hand from being used to satisfy this additional tax requirement that Senator Pangilinan has put upon GWA.
They're just trying to do everything they can so they don't have to follow the law, because they ignored the law from the very beginning. If they had just followed the law from the very beginning and included this, we won't be here. But they tried to hide the fact that they weren't going to follow the law, that they had no intention of borrowing this money to help the general fund, and when they got caught at it, they're now, our intention was always to pay it back, we're going to go borrow more money. They never even told the PUC that they didn't borrow the money and that they would go and borrow it later on.
Senator Pangilinan last year introduced the amendment requiring GWA to pay back that $18 million. It was attached to GWA's infrastructure bond, which is the focus of the current controversy. Sanchez says it was done without a public hearing.
This bill was done as a rider. There was no public hearing. There was no transparency where the community could come in and be asked that question. Do you agree with a proposal to borrow $20 million and charge it to your water bill so that you can pay the general fund? And that's the one question Senator Pangilinan keeps dodging.
If there had been a public hearing, some of these issues about the bond covenants being violated might have come out at that time.
Why didn't it come out on the committee on the floor? All of that, all of those issues and all of those discussions occurred. And so we asked and discussed with GWA during the committee of the whole, we would like you to also borrow the last 2 years of debt service on a borrowing that the general fund has been paying on behalf of PUAG and subsequently GWA for the last 20 years. Everyone agreed to it. It passed. GWA knew about it. The bondholders knew that this was the new condition of the borrowing.
But the more important question, says the CCU chairman, is whether or not forcing GWA to pay back $18 million is good public policy.
Here we are trying to figure out how to borrow an extra $20 million and going through all these legal machinations to figure out how to do it legally. But it really begs the most important question. Is it good policy for the people of Guam that are, as ratepayers of GWA, to be taxed another $20 million as GWA ratepayers for infrastructure that they've already paid for as general fund taxpayers?
The same argument could be made. You know, we've been paying, $7 million a year for 20, 30 years of GWA's bill. That should really have come out of their rates all those years. But we have helped them from the general fund to pay for that so they don't have to increase the rates. All we're saying is pay for the last 2 years of this 20-year-old debt.
Not a backdoor tax.
Not a backdoor tax.
It's a backdoor tax. How does Senator Pangilinan justify it? What good is it? What good is it to give somebody a $1,000 refund if their water bill is going to go up $70 a year for the next 10 years to pay for their own refund? You're making the taxpayer pay for his own refund through his water bill.
The controversy will be decided by the Superior Court in the months to come. Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.